right, good morning. I think there might be a few people trickling in. We do have a full class on the roster, but you know, that's how it goes. It was a beautiful full moon, if anyone got woken up by that in the middle of the night. And here we are in April, so it is the 92nd day of the year. And so I was thinking that we could do 92 push-ups today. April Fools, since we didn't have class yesterday. I am gonna bring in a new concept for us, and then I'll send out the advanced class from one of my teachers in the newsletter. So to be up front with you guys, I made it through an hour of this 3-hour class that he did. So it's cool educational stuff if you want to go down the rabbit hole. If not, hopefully I can condense it to help us understand how to integrate it into our body. So we're gonna try to think about, I'm calling it bear turtle instead of cat cow, right? So the spine has 2 S curves in it. So we have this curve of our neck and we have the curve of our low back that go in, let's say, or forward. And so we're gonna try to think about having, this is our grizzly bear, like curved back and like soft butt. And then from the heart, head, turtle out. Okay, and so we're gonna work that into our practice, and it's totally different than how I would teach. And so sometimes we get trained from our teacher and we just repeat these things, right? So to think about why we're saying what we do. So we see this when we lift into bridge, and I say squeeze your butt. So we're gonna try to lift into bridge without using our butt a little bit less. So we're gonna try and extend with our hamstrings. And we've been doing some stuff to extend like with the inner adductors instead of going like this and kicking back. So we'll circle back to that, and as always, it's like, if it doesn't compute for our brain or our body yet, that's okay. All right, so let's tune in. If you're on your back, you can stay on your back. If you're seated, find a comfy seat. If you need to adjust, let your body move. And just a few cleansing breaths, full exhales, just starting to settle, starting to feel into your body, tuning into any parts, any pieces that call your awareness. We're also trying to start to weave into our practice self-love, self-compassion, releasing judgment. So how in this moment can we accept where we are in our beingness, and also know that growth is always just beyond wherever we're at. If it feels comfortable, you can let the eyes close down, follow the breath down into your belly. As you exhale, pull the belly in and up, lengthen the spine, soften through the jaw, breathe with your lungs, with your diaphragm. Belly expands on the inhale, diaphragmatic breath. Full exhale, pull in and up, belly button to the spine. Shoulders soften, push the air out. A couple more rounds, follow the breath up and down, in and out. As the mind notices sounds, thoughts, sensations, thanking it for doing its job, and bringing it back. And then tuning into your intentions for your practice, what you need from your class today, and then bringing the hands up to the heart, starting to rub the hands, taking a couple more rounds of breath, warming up, linking the awareness, the breath in the body, and then bringing the hands to stillness, taking a breath of gratitude, moving from this loving place. Exhaling, releasing the head, interlacing the fingers, starting to circle the wrists, letting the palms come apart, start to roller coaster, letting that move through the elbows, the shoulders. And then back to center, round, press out, chin to chest, press back, lean back, breathe here. And then inhale, arms up overhead. So think about trying to keep that little bit of rounded bare butt. And then lift the head back up, good. Round forward, really press out, stretch through the back body, through the shoulders, through the arms, and stay here. Lift the head and the heart. Come back down, inhale everything up. Round in your back a little bit, chin to chest, and then lift the head and the heart. Exhale, release the fingers, cactus gently, start to rotate. Okay, back to center, float the arms down, roll the shoulders a couple times, and then fingers out to the side. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Strong core, hold that length in the spine, sweep down. Inhale, sweep up, gaze from the heart up. Exhale, sweep down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, plant your left hand, maybe on a block. Lean and reach, nice long side body, side to side. If you want more engagement, press back through your bottom hand. Keep both sit bones rooted. Maybe you let that opposite hip lift to help you reach to the ground. Next time that we come over to the left, let's stay here to the left and explore with that top arm. So cactus straighten, little circles with your elbow, maybe bend behind the head, maybe bend behind the back. All right, so external rotation, internal rotation. Okay, and then over to the other side. Okay, a little press into the right hand, root the left sit bone down, move the arm and shoulder, move the gaze, breathe. Okay, and then back to center, let the arms rest for a moment. And then we're gonna take the left arm out, straight in front of you, reach forward towards the butte, right arm out, left hand up, right hand up, left hand to right shoulder, right hand to left shoulder, and it is the Macarena. That's my other April Fool's joke for you guys. Okay. Inhale up, exhale, wrap and hug. Tuck your chin, gently start to rotate and breathe. As we know, we say the hokey pokey is what it's all about, but really it's like, can we bring some lightheartedness to our practice? Okay, from here, release your hands, send them out, interlace the fingers, thumbs are down. And then we'll get to our eagle pose. So spin in and out. Okay, and then release the hands, wrap up to Garudasana. So elbows hook, we went from here to here. Hands release. Okay, wrap and hug. Yeah. Lift up, find your breath here, rotate side to side. If it doesn't work for your shoulders for whatever reason, you can stay in this hugging posture. Okay, look down at which arm's on top. Inhale, open up. Exhale, wrap, change sides. Hug first, tuck the chin. Breathe, rotate. We're breathing into the back of the heart, trying to get the shoulder blades to slide on the rib cage. Okay, from here, Release the hands, spin the hands out and down, thumbs interlace. Spin in and out. So if we have golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, tight forearms from computing or being on our phone or sewing or gardening or anything else that we do, release, wrap up, hook the elbows. We're going to eagle arms. Lift, breathe, soften in the face, gently rotate. Okay, and then back to center. Unwind the arms, roll the shoulders. Take a breath here, and then we're gonna roll up to tabletop. Maybe a little cushion for your knees. And then warming up the hands. So side to side, circle, pedal. Maybe walking the fingertips back around towards the knees. If you're not feeling enough, stretch a little, bend into the elbows, a little shift weight back over your heels. And then unwinding the hands, knees wide, back to child's pose. A couple rounds of deep breath here, a little rock of the head side to side, rock the shoulders. And then inhaling, rolling up to tabletop. Okay, moving into cat-cow. So inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale, scoop the tailbone. Round the back, take your time, maybe stay for an extra round of breath. Let gravity really drop the crown of your head down, stretch through your occiput. Push the air out, inhale, lengthen, belly strong as we reach the head and the heart forward. And then maybe we can imagine as we do this, still keeping a little bit of our bare butt as we lift our head and heart. And it's gonna feel weird because it's flexion and extension at the same time.
Explain the bare butt again.
Yeah, I will, just a sec. And then anything that feels good. Side to side, circling the head, wiggling the tail. And then back to child's pose, round two. Maybe you tuck the toes. Maybe palms come together and bend behind the head. Maybe you're doing a little side to side with the arms. Maybe threading the needle. Okay, and then nice and easy, rolling back up to tabletop. Maybe sit in hero's pose for a second and then look up here and I'll try and explain a little bit more. So, what we do is we're trying to keep a rounded sacrum so that this is nice and loose and our butt's a little bit more relaxed. And then I'm moving, so I'm trying to hold that and then from my heart through my neck extend. So there's this roundedness in the hips. And so we've done this before. When we flow forward to plank, my butt's gonna be a little bit more rounded than I might feel normally. And then I release down, and as I release down, I'm extending into my cobra from my heart with my hips staying soft.
So when you say rounded, you mean kind of tuck or sit bones under?
Kind of tucked, but like less with engagement and more with shape.
Okay.
So instead of, we might say scoop your tailbone, but then I'm really squeezing my butt to do that. So I'm trying to do that.
Like with the core.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try it one more time here. So big rounded cat back. So keep that in your hips. Little bend into the elbows. Lift your head and your heart up. Okay, back to center. Send both legs back, don't worry, it feels weird. Find your plank. Okay, a little wiggle side to side here. And then lift the hips up to the sky, downward dog. Pedal, shake, wiggle, twist, jump, hop, float if you're still cold. And then walking the hands back to meet the feet, forward fold. Stay and hang. Come in and out. A little rock side to side. Back to center, halfway lift on your inhale. Round and fold, twice more. Lengthen out, strong core, let it go. One more time, halfway lift and fold. Reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, sit to chair. Drop the hands forward. Imagine hugging a giant pillow round the back. Lift the head up. Breathe. Inhale, stand up. One more time. Sink to chair. Bring the hands forward. Wrap, hug. Lift the head and the heart. Inhale up to standing, exhale, forward fold. Stay, hang again, sway if you want to. Back to center, plant your hands, walk out to plank. It could be half plank, your knees could be down. Find one round of breath here. And then we're gonna go side to side, side plank. So you might step one foot up to support you to roll. Or you can roll both feet to the side. Doesn't matter which way you go, because now we're going to the other side. Back to plank, roll to the other side, maybe foot steps up. Back to center, release down, chaturanga. All the way to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift the head and shoulders, exhale down. Twice more, hug the elbows in. Breathe, lift up. Last one, lift up and stay. And then a little look, lean, rock side to side. Okay, back to center, lower, stack the hands, turn the head, rest. A little wiggle of the tail. Release the hips, bend at the knees, rock the ankles from side to side. Okay, back to center, send the legs long. Scorpion twist, left arm is gonna cactus. Head turns to the right. Right knee bends. Maybe you roll onto your left side. You might stay on your belly and just do quad stretch. Circle the right knee around. Maybe right foot touches the floor or block. Maybe right hand half binds behind the back. Maybe head's on a block. Find a round of breath here. And then if you can imagine, again, like that hugging posture we did in chair pose, round your low back body ever so gently. And then unwind back to the belly, stack the hands, turn the head, rest for a couple rounds of breath before we go to the other side. Okay, and then right arm cactuses, left knee bends, right arm opens out to the side, so pec stretch. It might want to go straight instead of cactus. Left fingertips help you roll onto your right side. You might reach for the foot, you might circle, move, fan the knee up and down. Foot might tap the floor behind you. If you've got your foot, we're in Nautaraja dancer pose, so you might flex your right leg, that's your long leg underneath, like you're gonna stand on it. So this is harder because we can't use gravity the same way. Okay, find your breath, and then if you can imagine, with that left arm, wrap and hug your giant pillow in the front. Curve your low back ever so gently. Yeah, and then slowly unwind back onto the belly. Stack the hands, rest for another round of breath. Okay, and then we're gonna come into Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders. So part of this is for the vagus nerve and to try and get us into the parasympathetic nervous system. So here, press your chin out, send it up to the ceiling, while also trying to keep the back of your neck long. And then try and breathe, and try and relax your jaw. One way we can do that is pull the corners of your mouth towards your ears. Okay, so feel this felt sense in your throat, in your chest, so we're getting into the thyroid, into these front neck muscles that usually help hold us up. So we have to use our deep core neck muscles for this, okay? Lower down, rest. Let's do a couple rounds of Shalabhasana before we flip over. So interlace your fingers under your forehead. Forehead on top of the fingers. Inhale, lift the head, lift the arms. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift, maybe the feet lift along with. Exhale, float down. Last time. Inhale, lift. Hold. Find a round of breath here. And then exhale, lower down. Slide the hands back by the ribs. Press back to child's pose. Okay, and then we're gonna come up, cross the ankles, send the legs out in front of you. So another way we're gonna look at this back piece is to feel how it feels to forward fold and seated, which is usually not the yummiest for most of us. Okay, so just do that for a couple times, and then we're gonna plant the hands behind us. Set your feet, lift up, reverse tabletop, lower down, set the hips down, lift your legs, Navasana. Plant your feet, lift your hips, sit down, send the feet up. Maybe we send the arms up behind the knees, maybe we send them out. Okay? Hook behind your knees gently. Find a way to release yourself down. So a couple rocks of the spine. And then settle onto your back. You can hug the knees in or release the feet to the mat. A little rock side to side here. Okay, and then feet to the floor, knees bent, windshield wiper side to side. Next time you come over to the right, settle all the way to the right. Left knee might lift up a little bit more. Right hand might find the leg. Let your left arm open. Maybe moving that left arm, shoulder around again. And then back through center, over to the other side. Bottom leg might straighten out, top knee might lift up a little bit more. Right arm opens, head moves around, find your breath. Feel expansion through the ribs, through the intercostals, all the way down into your hip. And slowly, gently, back to center. Send the legs up towards the sky. Okay, we're gonna do this forward fold again. Curl, lift your head, grab the backs of your legs, pull your knees towards your head any amount. So we say forward folds are relaxing, and we realize here that this is not relaxing. Okay, so bend into your knees and then slowly rock. Make your way back up to seated. So when we do that engagement first, now we're gonna send the legs out in front of us. Does this feel different? Can you go a little bit further? Hopefully. Okay, and then nice and easy, we're gonna bend the knees again, hands behind. This time we're coming into seated figure 4. Okay, so maybe you walk your foot out a little bit more. A little rock side to side. And then if you want to, press into this bottom leg, lift, hold. Okay, lower down, kick that top leg out, sit up, hug that bent knee in, find your breath here. And then we're gonna round the back, twist towards that bent knee, and then inhale, lift the head and the heart, lengthen up. Okay, so do a little round, keep that softness in your low back, lift up from your heart, from your head. Okay, back to center, unwind. Long leg slides in, other leg goes on top, figure 4. A little rock side to side. So we can see here we have this roundedness in our back from our position. And then head, heart lifts. So it's how we go into crow or half handstand. And then maybe press into your foot, lift your hips any amount, find a breath. Exhale, lower it back down. Send that top leg out and long, lengthen, sit up. Wrap hug around that knee. Okay, and then twist towards that knee. And then head, heart, lift up and out like the turtle. Okay, round hug, lean. Let that stay in the low back. Lift up from the heart and the head. Beautiful. Back to center, unwind. Okay, soles of the feet together, butterfly. Maybe a little rock here. Your feet might not touch, that's okay too. Okay, so same thing. Like we're hugging this giant pillow, and you can let your hands stay relaxed if you feel like you can energetically get it in the torso, hug the pillow, and then lift your head to see what's going on. Okay, and then round forward one more time. Lift, head, sternum, and let it go. Okay, back to neutral coming up. Let's bring the knees side to side. Hands might plant behind you. Hands up for more balance. So two of our ways to get up, get down is to roll onto our side. Okay. And then back to center, we're gonna lower ourselves back down to the floor. Mini Shavasana moment here. Just breathe, feel into the back body. Okay, and then the knees are gonna bend to 90 degrees, float your feet off the floor. Fingers might tuck under the hips for support. We're gonna slowly start to drop the knees from side to side. So go slower than you want to. Inhale through center, exhale, rotate to the side. Inhale, strong core, back up. Okay. Back to center, knees to 90 degrees. We're gonna add the arms for dead bug. So arms reach up, and then elbows bend to 90 degrees. Head stays on the ground unless we want more engagement, then head lifts towards the belly button. Okay, reach your left hand towards the sky, right foot up towards the sky. Okay, bend back to 90. Right arm, left leg up to the ceiling. Back to 90. Left arm, reach long by your ear, up by your head. Right leg long. Back to 90. Left leg long, right arm long. Just one more. This time we're frog cactus. Right leg open, left arm open. Back in, last two, left leg, right arm frog. Center, let it go. Breathe, rest. Wiggle, let the head, let the neck relax. Knees bent, feet find the ground. We're gonna come into a round of bridge. So let's start with our normal bridge. Spread the toes, root down through the feet, curl, lift the hips. Okay, and then tune into your glutes here. Feel into your butt. Feel into your low back. Hopefully we don't have any pinching, but notice if it starts to get tight. Exhale, roll down, full rest at the bottom. Maybe knees rest together, maybe legs go long, maybe butterfly. Okay, big breath here. Okay, here's where we're gonna explore, and we're just gonna be curious. We haven't maybe done this before. So feet walk back onto the mat, knees are bent. We're gonna turn the toes out a little bit. So we're gonna explore with that. We all have different bodies, different bones. Okay, so toes turn out, curl, lift. And then gently try and hug your knees in a little bit. So toes are out, we're trying to spin our toes out, but we're standing on them. Okay, lift your hips. Gently hug the inner knees in. Notice, and then roll down, let it go. Okay, the next one, if you can reach a block, or we might try it with a block. The block in between the inner thighs might help us feel that felt sense of abductors turning on, turning our outer glutes off. Otherwise, we know our twist rotation, toes are trying to spin out. They're not gonna move because I'm standing on them. Lift your hips, hold, and then usually we would say squeeze your butt so you can get a little bit higher. But this time, try and do that pillow hug, soften your butt down a little bit. Beautiful. And then roll down, let it go. Slide the block out, full rest. Send the legs long. Okay, and then nice and easy here, let's bend the knees, plant the feet, drop the knees over to the right and roll onto your right side. Okay, so we're on our side here. We're going to try and roll our left arm and our body around this invisible pillow in the front. So hug it into your belly. Okay, hold that. Set your left fingertips for support. Start to clamshell, left knee open to the sky. Okay, left leg, kick out through the heel, and then try and turn the toes down. So this is one way that we turn the glutes off, and then we're gonna try to kick the leg back behind us in the mat, while still keeping rounded in our belly. Leg kicks back. I might try to reach towards the ground, and then let the knee bend, rest. Okay, and then I'm coming to my shoulder. So I'm gonna roll forward. This is part of our twisting, and then roll that shoulder back while I round the hips forward. Roll forward, look towards the floor. Roll back, hug the pillow with your hips. Okay, and then left hand opens back behind us into a twist. So knees stay to the right, let the upper body open to the left. Okay, we're gonna stay on this side. Left fingertips are coming to the left ear. We're gonna do a little crunch up to the ceiling. If I can twist my left elbow towards my right hand a little bit, great, but just lift, we're already twisted. So just try and lift your left head, shoulder off the ground. If we can twist to the right a little bit, great. Whatever, maybe one or two more. Okay, unwind, rest, and then knees come over to the other side. So we're rolling towards the front body. Okay, hug your invisible pillow, and then start to clamshell, top knee open. So that's activating our glutes, external rotation in the hips. Okay, and then when we're done with that, let that release, kick out through your top leg, leg straight, and then try and turn the toes down towards the mat. This might be weird enough for our body, and then maybe try and reach those toes back behind you in your mat. So adductors, rectus femoris, deep extensors. Okay, bend the knee, rest, and then let's come to the shoulder. So roll it towards the ground like you're gonna roll onto your belly, and then roll it open. Roll forward towards the floor, and then open the heart, open the chest. Okay, last one, and then next time you open, let that right arm go open and settle into a twist. Okay, and then right fingertips are gonna find the ear. We're gonna try and lift the head, lift the shoulder just a little bit, curl, crunch, maybe a couple more. And then rest, settle into the twist for one or two more rounds of breath. And then unwind back onto your back. Send your legs long, rest. Arms might go down by your side, they might cactus, they might go overhead. Okay, and then bending the knees in, either rocking the length of your spine or rolling to one side, making your way up to standing. If you have blocks, bring them in here. Okay, so our right foot is going to be forward to start. We're going to explore that turning our foot in again. So our left toes are going to lift. We're on our left toes. Bend into your right leg. Get strong there. And then toes turn in. Try and slide it back behind you. So I don't have very much weight on my back foot. Okay, and then here, I'm gonna try and round and hug that pillow and then lift my head and my heart. And then maybe lift your foot behind you any amount. Okay, back up to standing. Okay, left foot forward, right leg turns in. It might be a short stance. I might step it back more for more efforting in my left leg. Okay, round hug in the core. Lift from the shoulders and the head. Try and breathe. And then maybe right toes lift. And let it go up to standing. Shake it out. Twist, wiggle. Okay, and then our right foot's forward again. We're just gonna straight leg step back with your left foot. Okay, now here, I'm gonna try and turn my knee in. I'm gonna try and lift my inner thigh towards the ceiling, which means I'm maybe gonna turn my body to the right a little bit. So eventually this is where we get into our rotation. So just feel it in your torso and then try to also round in the belly, round in the low back, and then lift up. Roll open, heel down, warrior two. Open up. Okay, so same thing here. With our left leg knee, we're gonna try to roll that leg forward, which is us turning our torso forward towards warrior one. Okay. Send the arms to the sky, foots down, press through your back, pinky toe. Hold that in your leg, open up warrior two. Drop the back hand back, reverse. Reach up, bend and straighten the front leg a couple times. Come back through warrior two. Elbow, knee, side angle. Maybe hand block. Top arm and head gaze go wherever's comfy for the body. Okay. Inhale up, turn back forward to warrior one. Okay, block might come with us to go to warrior three. Or we might just hop float, hold balance in the amount, step up to standing, wiggle it out, let it go. So another way that we get the glutes to turn off is to tire them out. Okay, left foot is forward, right leg straight back to lunge. So I'm trying to stay up on my toes, which helps me a little bit to turn towards the left, into that left leg, and try and engage through the adductors and rectus femoris. Okay, and then round in your belly, lift in the head and the heart, turn more to the left, breathe, maybe right fingers find the left knee, and then we might hold this in our back and then eventually open through our left. Okay, back to center, send the arms up, warrior one, and then heel down, open up, warrior two. So, if I can rotate my back knee, hip, down towards the floor. Energetically, I'm imagining it going to the left. Hold that, open the torso back up to warrior two. It's gonna feel weird. Back hand back, reverse. Bend and straighten the front knee a couple times. Settle back in, unwind, warrior two. Pivot forward. Shift, roll. Hop, float. Warrior three. Up to standing. Let it go. Okay, right foot is forward. Left foot's back and down. Pivot forward and backward. Okay, come forward to warrior one legs. And then a little more twist to the right. Okay, hands can cactus, they can extend, and then round forward. Left hand might come inside the right leg, it might come outside. It might eventually tap the block. I might leave my right hand out of it or bind. That bind behind the back means I can round in over my right knee a little bit more. Okay, slowly unwind. Open up, warrior two. Straighten the legs, wiggle out the hips. Okay, right hip scoops under, left leg's turning in, so they're going opposite directions. Hinge out towards triangle. So my right toes are trying to spin out. My left toes are trying to spin in. Maybe you feel just a little bit more space happen when you press back through your left heel. Okay, inhale, come up. Bend into the front knee. Elbow, knee, side angle. Maybe you're doing a different variation. Okay, maybe I'm going half bind, full bind here. Right hand's reaching around my right thigh. Left hand's going behind the back. And then we're just imagining energetically that we can draw a dotted line between the two. Okay, inhale, come up, step forward. Let that go with that right leg. Left leg's forward. Right foot's back and down. Bend into your front knee, rotate the hips. Okay, square forward the warrior one, and then twist more to the left. Arms do whatever helps you get a little more rotation while we're still trying to round in the back and lift the head. Right hand might find the leg. Okay, it might go to the outside. Left arm might relax. Lean forward, round, gentle scoop of the tailbone. Then inhale, unwind up, warrior two. Okay, bend and straighten the legs. Release the hips. Kick the hips out behind you, scoop them back under. And then left hip is going under. Right knee's trying to rotate back forward down to the floor. Okay? And then hinge to triangle. Top arm gaze wherever feels good for your body. Inhale, unwind back to warrior two. Bend into your front knee. Elbow, knee, side angle. Hand to the block. Maybe we're working towards the bind. Once I've got that arm reaching back behind, scoop your left leg. Rotate your right knee down towards the floor any amount. Spiral your right heel out and back. Inhale, unwind. Come up to standing. Rotate forward, step forward. Let it go. Okay. So, balanced posture, tree pose. Get strong in one leg. Just notice which leg you prefer. Foot might just come up to toes. Bring it up in front of you to start. Keep your strength and your integrity here. And then start to pivot it out to the side. Okay. Foot might find the leg. Okay. Press in, strong legs. And then maybe do a little bare back if you can. Lift the head, maybe send the arms out. Coming in and out is fine. Let the wind blow. Okay, come out. Circle out that standing leg. Move your ankles, your toes. Changing sides. So, strong standing leg. Knee bends. hand at the wall or holding our invisible support post. Knee comes up. Okay, and then try to soften in your standing butt. Okay, and then leg rotates out, foot finds that long leg to balance. And then if I can, think about doing a little cat back in my hips. Lift from your heart, your head. Breathe, soften. Grow your branches if they're ready. And then exhale. Let it go. Okay. Nice and easy, we're gonna make our way back down. So nice, smooth sun salutation to just integrate all of that. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here. Another round of breath. On your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Round and fold. Walk out to plank. We've been working on our funky arm position, so we're gonna lower down to one forearm, and then down to the other forearm, and then walk back up onto a hand, onto another hand, and then release down, chaturanga, heart, chin, belly, all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, up dog. Exhale, push back, down dog. Pedal shake, wiggle, twist, whatever feels good here. Okay, from here we're going to squat. So I'm gonna hop my feet out to the outside of my mat. Elbows might come to my knees to start. Okay, so I might do a little wiggle twist here, and then I might start to sink down. Okay, so this is the culmination of this nonsense that we've been trying to do with our bear hug. Okay, so this is how we get to crow, is we have this rounded back with a strong lifted core. Our hands might find the blocker or the ground, and then head, heart, lift so that I don't face plant myself to the floor, right? So then I round and hug my knees into my arms if I can, and then my feet might float. So, crow pose, head's trying to lift up ever so gently. Maybe I'm just shifting weight onto my toes, that's great. Trying to keep rounded in the belly, head lifts. Beautiful. When you've had enough, straighten the legs, forward fold. And then turn towards the mirror. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So stepping wide, a little side to side here. And then find center, hinge out of the hips. Round, fold, plant the hands again, maybe a little wiggle. Shake here, let the head drop down. Okay, and then nice and easy, we're gonna come halfway up. We're gonna plant our right hand under our face. Okay, our right foot is gonna step through this left alley between our right hand and our left foot, and we're gonna sit down. Okay, and then hands behind. Slowly lower down onto your forearm, so we're coming to fish. A fish variation. Okay, and so then here, can you round your back down towards the earth any amount? And then can you lift your heart up, drop your head back. Okay, and then let the low back piece go. Just let everything lift up to the sky. Push through your forearms, push through your elbows. It's like reverse Sphinx pose. A little rock of the head from side to side. And then really gently, easily, however you can do it, slide out and down onto your back. Release down, hug your knees in. Feel into any final stretches that your body would like. Maybe another figure 4 on the ground. Maybe another twist. Maybe supported bridge with the block. Maybe shoulder stand. Maybe just legs up. Maybe putting your layers on, socks on. And then when you feel ready, let the physical body start to unwind. Honoring isolation. Thank you for this day of removing myself from the presence of others. Thank you for aloneness and the strength to be with myself. Make me cognizant of when I need to take space from others so I do not retreat in an abandoning way. Help me know my needs so I can plan my departure and re-entry. Help me sequester myself away from the bustle of activity so I may begin to understand how my systems are growing and shifting. Insulate me from the noise of the outside world. Let me learn to be the master of my own energy. Help me skillfully turn on and turn off in ways that allow me to be at peace and also real with myself. When I become miserable or afraid, remind me to enjoy my own company. Set me by the bonfire of my heart beside the crashing waves so that my alone time is introspective, healing, and reflective. Show me how my reserves are built and restored in a practice of solitude and meditation. Cultivate in me a respect for my ways and how I relate to you. Let me remember how water becomes still by being left alone. When a friend bids me farewell, deter my wounded judgment. Bring me to the threshold of acceptance for paths that part. Help me feel the gravity of the empty space and breathe fully into it. When obstacles arise to greet me, let me meet them eye to eye, unlimited in my willingness to chart my moves. Where my thoughts and feelings are complicated, let me not fixate on the complexity, but surrender and be bound vigorously to life. Help me recognize how I have been fragmented. Be the basket in which I gather the lost pieces of myself. breath to your body. Letting the body continue to relax, continue to receive the benefits of your practice. Slowly starting to wiggle, move, stretch. Deepening the breath. And then hugging one or both knees in. Rolling to one on side for a round of breath. Letting the neck stay relaxed. Using that top arm to press down and spiral yourself back up to seated. And then reconnecting the hands at the heart, thinking of this like a flame and like a safe little cave that we can open up to ourself, right? At any parts or pieces that got hurt, abandoned, damaged, forgot about, right? We're keeping that space open for them to show up and come back up to the surface without any judgment. And then gently closing that, bowing to yourself, another breath of gratitude. Namaste.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.